Danny Flexon for Seconds Out, here with 3-0 bantamweight Lee McGregor at Shane McGuigan's gym in London. How are you today, mate?
I'm good, mate. Yeah. Just finished hard day sparring, so no, I'm good. Yeah.
Can see the marks of war on your face, which is nothing to be ashamed of. Good hard sparring that we were lucky enough to catch a glimpse of when we got here. You were sparring with some speedy, nippy amateurs, at least when we saw you. What does that do for your game?
Yeah, well, it was three different young amateur lads. So they were coming in and out, fresh opponent every time. So it was good for me because I had to stay on my toes. And then obviously when it was getting hard, a fresh opponent was coming in, so I was having to really dig in and try and be as fresh as I could and save myself for the later rounds as well. And obviously these amateur lads are really quick and nippy, as you just said, so you definitely need to be on the ball. And obviously the pros is a bit more different. You're sitting down on your shots and you're really looking to plant your feet, but then when you've got guys like that coming in and nippy moving and that, it's great because it keeps you on your toes and it just makes you remember, you can't always get away with just planting your feet and wanting to land big shots. You still need to be on the ball, use your feet and also bring back your old amateur tricks now and again. So yeah, no, it's good and they're definitely helpful.
You're obviously a very good amateur yourself. You turned pro very young. I think you kind of moved away from the chance to go to the Commonwealth Games in Australia and turned pro instead at quite a young age. What was the thinking behind that?
Yeah, no, that's right. I was probably, would have been in Gold Coast just now if I'd stayed amateur, but I just thought I've proved myself in amateur ranks. I was 3-time British champion, 4-time Scottish champion. So I'd proved myself in the amateur ranks. Also, obviously the Commonwealth Games would have been good to go to and good to experience, but at the same time I had an offer that I couldn't really turn down. I was always set on cycling and Barry, and that was the team I wanted to be a part of, especially with Josh being here as well, with the big nights that they were having in Scotland. So I was going to use the Commonwealth Games as a platform and an opportunity to show these guys what I could do. But I was fortunate enough that they snapped me up before that and they liked what they had seen before the Commonwealth Games. So I didn't have to go to the Commonwealth Games to prove myself to them. So I thought, why not? By the time the Commonwealth Games are over, I'm going to be pushing, as we're pushing towards titles already. So and I've said this before, I'm going to be remembered in the future, hopefully for being a world champion, not a Commonwealth Games gold medalist. So no, it's hard to watch and it's frustrating seeing all the guys enjoying it over there and that, but I'm down here working hard and I'm pushing on and I'm looking to have a big year. So yeah.
I was reading in an article that you did a little while ago that towards the end of your amateur career you experienced some family tragedy and that you had to kind of fight through. I think you lost a family member on the same day you won the British title, is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, I lost my mum the same day I won the British title. I never knew when I fought. It was obviously I'd fought and I think it was maybe a couple of hours later my mum had passed away, and I didn't find out till the next day. So it was hard for me, and I had obviously after I'd won the GBs, I had the European Championships coming up with, I think it was 5-6 weeks time. So I never even had time to grieve. I had to just bite down and use it as motivation, and that's what I'd done. I went to the Europeans and I'd beat the current European champion over there. I'd put on some probably my best performances in my career. And I was unlucky to lose to the Ukrainian in Ukraine for a medal. So no, I fought through some hard times, and I think that's made me the fighter I am today. And I don't think I'm going to have to face anything harder than what I've already faced, which is quite encouraging, because if I can get through that, then I believe I can get through anything. So even now to this day, I'm still using everything as motivation. I never just lost my mum. I've had loads of heartache. 2017 was probably my worst year of my life, and then I thought 2018 was going to be, I was going to pick up and everything was going to get better. And then just January 2018, I lost my grandad, who I was really close to. He he was like my idol. He was almost like a second dad to me. So it was just another blow. But I fought a couple of weeks after that, and it was about 4 weeks, 3-4 weeks after that. So I trained through that as well. I was in training camp down here for it when I lost him, and then I dedicated the fight I had at the start of March there for him. I won that for him, and I've said that I want to win a world title for my mum, my grandad, you know. And honestly, I could keep going on and on about all the heartache the past year, but it's done now, and I just need to, as I say, use it as motivation, and that's what I'm doing, and I'm just going to do them proud and bring some happiness to my family now, hopefully. So that's my game.
And are you based down here in London now, or do you still go back home between fight dates?
Well, yeah, I'm based down here. We get training camp. We get a date for when we're going to fight, which the set date's not set yet. I think it's going to be June. We're back out on Josh Taylor's undercard, so that we're in camp for that now. We have about 10 week camp. Come down for 2 weeks, and we'll go home every second weekend, just so we can catch up with family and stuff like that. So I'm based down here for 10 weeks, but I get to go home every second weekend, which is good to get home and see the family and stuff. So and then after a fight, I'll have a couple of weeks back home. We rest, see the family, enjoy myself a bit, and then especially this early on in my career, like I'm keeping busy. So I'm just only having a couple of weeks back home, and I'm back down at the camp. I'm learning all the time as well. I'm improving each camp, and improving each fight. It's great. I'm loving it. Yeah.
Where do you stay when you're down here, and who do you stay with?
Well, we had a flat. I stayed with Josh and Chris. We had a flat, but we stayed there for my first 3 camps. So we stayed in the flat. But now we're just staying in hotels. Cyclone will sort us out a hotel. Maybe 20 minutes from the gym. Just now we're staying at Kingston, so we're about half an hour on the train. It's easy enough. We just get the train to and from here every day. It's basically just somewhere to sleep, because we're in here all day every day. You've got the dartboard, you've got a place to chill, the Xbox and stuff through there. So you basically just need somewhere for your sleep, and you're in here all day every day anyway. So I don't really care where I stay. I'm here to work hard, and that's all I'm bothered about.
It must make you all a lot closer, because you're all very young to be away from home, staying in a big city, and you're in the gym, as you say, most of the time. You've got the dartboard, you're socialising as well as training, so it must bond all of you, I would think.
Yeah, no, of course. Like especially me. I'm only 21. Josh is a bit older, and I've known Josh for a long time, even before I come down here. I've known him for years and years. So Josh is a mate as well, not just a teammate down here. So I've known I'd speak to Josh even if I never knew him through boxing anyway. So it's good to be with someone that you're close to, and that you get on with, who's from the same area as you. We're like the same people. So we just, when we're not training, we have a laugh, we enjoy ourselves just like everyone else. Big Chris as well, he's great to have as well. He goes home every weekend though, so sometimes it's just me and Josh on our own down here. But we don't do much at all, honestly. We're just here to train. We just work hard, and we just want to win titles, and we're just hungry for success. So we don't really see much of the city, or the weekends we do have a little stroll in that, but we're truly focused on wanting to win fights, and that's dedication and sacrifices that you need to make, and we make them.
You said your next fight's going to be in June. What would you like to have achieved by the end of this year? Where would you like to be? Yeah,
well, my next fight's going to be June. Hoping that we can get my first title. Don't know what title, could be Scottish, Celtic, anything. I want to get my first title, and then we've already made it clear what we want this year. You know, we want that British title. If we can get that towards the end of the year, I would love that. I know you do need to earn your shot, and I'm trying my hardest. You know, I'm knocking everyone out that I'm fighting. We're stepping up each time, which will be another step up my next fight. And say maybe September have another step up, like, and then hopefully we can get the British title, proved ourselves by then, and can come to some sort of agreement that we can hopefully fight for the British title towards the end of the year. That would be my dream. Like I've always said, like I'd love to win this British title this year. I lost my granddad at the start of the year. Winning the British title at the end of it for him, it would be brilliant. So I'm so hungry to get that, but it's just about getting the opportunity, and I've got the perfect people who do everything they can to give me that shot. So it's just about obviously Josh Whale and Cash Farouk fight for it. Obviously there's a rescheduled date. I think it's going to be hopefully the same time as me, June time. It was meant to be April there, but Josh is injured. So if they fight in June, then I'd love a shot at the winner. I can't see them choosing me as a voluntary or whatever, and then it's going to be hard for me to get in a mandatory spot like with this early on, because I would only have about 5 fights by then. So, but as I just said, Cyclone are great at what they do, and they will do everything they can to get me a shot, because we all believe in this gym that I'll win that British title. It's just about getting the shot. So fingers crossed we can get it.
Brilliant. Really appreciate it.